Is muted. You can unmute yourself by pressing *6 on your phone.
Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Monday, September 3rd, 2018. And today I'm going to do a follow-up on my video that I did yesterday regarding the missing methane and carbon dioxide data that was missing in CAMS, which is the Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Services, and from the NOAA website. So I've got my screen share up and we have data on methane from CAMS now, but I ended up opening up a support ticket on CAMS. I'm in their member database and anybody can become a member, and if you want to ask a question or get any kind of help or instruction on anything in that CAMS database, you have to become a member. So I became a member a few months back, and they're very nice, and I'm going to share that email with you, and then I'm going to tell you what happened, and then we're going to look at the latest methane data, and we're also going to hop over to NOAA and see what's going on over there. So last night I opened the support ticket about 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's my time. And they're out of the EU. So, they're on a different time. They're ahead, way ahead, way ahead in hours. So I received the first email, but besides, the support ticket being set up and all that, then I received my first response from a real person at 12:30 a.m. today from Carl Hennerman, and he says, "Dear Margo, thank you for reporting the error with methane and CO2 data missing on the," and he gives the link, the charts CAMS since 8/27/18. We are working on reestablishing this data and we will notify you when it is available again. Sincerely, Carl Hennerman. I was asleep. I was in bed asleep. And I got up at about 7 this morning. So these emails were waiting for me. Then the second email came in from Carl at 4:21 a.m. And he says, "Dear Margo, further to your report of methane and CO2 charts missing on their website, the CAMS website, my colleagues identified and corrected the issue. The charts are now available again. We apologize for the disruption. Sincerely, Carl Hennerman." So that's what happened. And so I immediately went to CAMS, and what was up was not the data that's here, because they usually go back only like 5 days. But they had here, they've updated it since the first update today. They had now the last data that we had was from Monday the 27th. And so when I first logged on this morning, after I got Carl's emails, there was data from Tuesday and Wednesday. So I ran that just to see what it looked like. And it didn't look like any bursts had happened, but it did show a lot of methane being released in the Arctic, like what we're seeing here. And gathering, it actually was gathering in the Arctic. It was a lot of red. And then I was looking at carbon dioxide, and they had the same dates for carbon dioxide, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then I was doing something else, and then I came back to CAMS, and then lo and behold, it's been updated, and they dropped Tuesday and Wednesday, and now they got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday data in. So I still don't understand what's going on, because you can see all these filter results are filled in now. And the reason I don't understand what's going on is because when you go over to another um, gas like ozone, they've got 5 days. But okay, so and they've got it through today. So, I don't understand. And if they're not going to fill in for, today and yesterday, why did they let go of the data for Tuesday and Wednesday? I still have a suspicious, paranoid mind, and that's just from my experiences. And I'm thinking there was something in that data from Tuesday and Wednesday that if I had had time to dig in, I would have found something. But I didn't have time. I just woken up, um, just gotten on the computer, was starting my morning routine, and I found that, and I didn't have time to dig into anything. I didn't record it so that I could go back and look at it. I thought it would be there, and but there you go. So this is the data that we have, and um, so let's hop back over to methane, because I know everyone is dying to see methane. I was with, it's been a week, and when you after you go and look at one of these other gases and you go back to methane, it defaults to total column. And this total column reading is absolutely horrendous. And don't let anyone tell you that it's not horrendous. This is methane going all the way up through the total column, all the levels in the atmosphere. And see that dark, dark, dark? Their scale down here is 2,320 parts per billion total column over the top part of India and over a lot of China and down there. And I've never, and then it's red over here, spreading on over to the west of that, Saudi Arabia and Africa. And even total column is showing up red over here, north of South America, or in South America. I'm kind of disoriented on this view, but total columns off the charts, folks, and don't let anyone tell you that it's not. But I like to look at surface level, because then we can get a better idea of what's coming up from the surface. And so here we go. Now, and sometimes this reading at the bottom here says 75,600. Sometimes it says 2320. I don't know which is right on the highest reading. I just know that these are very high readings, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to reload this CAMS thing. Hang on a second. I'm going to reload it and see if we can get. This is from one that I bookmarked, and here it is. And now you can see that these are different. It's a different scale at the bottom. I don't understand why these things are. It just is as it is. I'm going to open up my screen here. So down here at the bottom, the orange is 1980. The red orange is 2000. The red is 2020. The darker red is 2040. And then the dark like this black, is 75,600. This is parts per billion. So I don't know why there's a discrepancy. I'm just the messenger. What can I say? So let's run this movie. This is looking down at the North Pole. This is actually when you go to area. Now, level is surface because this is from a bookmark that I have or an old view. And these are the different levels going up in the atmosphere. And so if you see something that says at 850 HPA, then that's further up in the atmosphere. It's not at the surface. 1,000 HPA or 1,000 millibars is equal to surface. And so the higher you get in the atmosphere, the smaller these numbers get on HPA. And HPA stands for hectopascal. That's a certain kind of scale that they use on all of this stuff. It's all scientific. So the area, well, it doesn't show it. The area is the North Pole. I don't know why it's not showing it. Anyway, it is what it is. So let's just run this. And because I know everyone is dying to see this, I was. And so I'm going to start my base time back to Thursday. So we have actual data for 3 days. And then where it goes into Sunday and it's red, you see down here where it's red, that's where it goes into the forecast period. That's what that means. That's how you read this. So let's load this up. And automatically, now this is left over from what was from Wednesday night. And this is why I'm sorry that I didn't record Tuesday and Wednesday. I was half asleep. I'd just gotten up. What can I say? I'm sorry I didn't record that. I didn't know that data was going to go away in 10 minutes, but literally it did. But this is leftover surface level methane coming up from Wednesday. This is the tail end of Wednesday coming up as we go into Thursday. And you can see very high levels coming up off of Norway and then over here in the East Siberia ice shelf. So we could have been having a methane event. I didn't see any bursts. I didn't see the screen filling up with colors like when we had the methane burst at the end of May. I didn't see any of that. I saw normal, regular movement of the methane, but I saw high levels coming up in the Arctic Ocean or the sea here. That's what I looked at. And so let's just load this movie up. And so this is being recorded. And so if this data goes away, we'll have it recorded and I will upload this to YouTube. I'm over on TalkShoe recording this because yesterday I did the show with Robin over on TalkShoe, and I wanted the follow-up show on TalkShoe as well for anyone who might see it over there. So that's why I'm doing it on TalkShoe, but I'm not going to take any calls. And this is just a solo show recording. So here you go. Here's Friday. Here's Saturday. And now we're into the forecast period on Sunday and today. And now it's going to start over. You see that? That's flipping me out, folks. I'm telling you that is flipping me out. And the fact that now I can't study Tuesday and Wednesday. I saw it one time, one or two times. I ran it through. I ran it through on this view and I ran it through on the catalog view, the plots view. And then as I was trying to run carbon dioxide, they were updating the data. I mean, it was instant. It was instant. As soon as I got online, they were updating. So as soon as I saw it, like once, they were updating the data and then it was gone. So I don't know how long they would have left that down if I hadn't opened a support ticket. Now we're going to change our area and go to the Arctic, and we'll get a closer view of the same data. All right. And our base starting from Thursday. We're going to load this movie. And that look at that. It's black. It's that black reading. You see that? That's right over. This is that Siberia ice shelf. It's right here, folks. And over here, here's Novaya Zemlya. That's where all that nuclear waste is. And over here, this is off of Norway and Sweden and Finland and Denmark. And, you know, here's Russia and Siberia. That's all black. China's all black. We got a bunch of black over here. This is the worst I've seen it. It seriously is. So I was telling Robin yesterday that, you know, when the shit hits the fan, I think all the data is going to be down. We're not going to have any access to any data, and that'll be a sign. Oh, and by the way, I've gotten 13 thumbs downs on my show with Robin yesterday over on YouTube. I had one thumbs down this morning, and then that's all I had all morning. And then you know, comments were coming in and all this stuff. And then I ate lunch, and in about a 30-minute period, you know, from eating lunch and taking a break from the computer, I went back and I had 13 thumbs downs. So I had 12 thumbs downs within a 30-minute period. So what does that tell you? I don't think those were people. I think that was AI. And I think it was probably, you know, government related. It was intelligence. They do not want this information out, and they don't want me showing people how to use these sites, even though it's in the public domain. They're confusing, they're hard to use, and it takes time and energy, and most people don't have the time that I have. I'm 64 years old. I'm retired. You know, I have a small private practice on the side with holistic coaching and spiritual healing and stuff. But, you know, I don't have very many clients, and I'm devoting my time to bringing this information to the public, and so that people can realize how short of time we have, and that we have to get our spiritual houses in order, because the dominoes are falling. They're not gonna fall, they are falling. And time is short. No one knows the day or the hour, but time is short. So we've run that through a couple of times. You got a good look at all of that. So now I'm going to hop over to the plots view. I don't know why my formaldehyde data is missing on the plots view. So here we're going to go over to methane. See, it comes right up and it defaults to total column. You can see all that black that's flipping me out. That is absolutely the worst I've ever seen it. And if you want, let's just run this movie on total column. I don't think it's going to move much. Now down here, the data again starts on August the 30th, and then what's our days? August 30th. It's 3 days through the 1st. And then anything after the 1st will be into the forecast period. So this movie loads faster, but it runs a little bit slower so you can get a better view. You can kind of take it in of what's happening. Now this is total column. And so you can see this black area and see the reading over here is totally different. They have the bright red at 1890, I think, 1880, and the red at 1900, and the black red at 2320. So that's a different scale. So it is what it is. You know, we're not part of the inside club. It's a private club and we're not members. So we're just all doing the best we can. And we can see total column is high up here in the northern part of South America as well. So now let's hop down to surface level and look at the world view here. We'll load this up. Now on this one, here's a different scale. Now this one is back to the higher readings where the bright red is 2000, the red is 2020, the darker red is 2040, and the black red is 75,600. So, you know, they contradict themselves. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I just know it doesn't look good. And I just know that everybody's health is getting worse. The DNA is unraveling and coming apart. 5G is coming online. They're already running trials of 5G in lots of different cities all around the world, including Reno. Talk about flipping out. When I found that, I'm like, well, no wonder I feel so bad. I know exactly when it came online. It came online about, well, probably back in March of this year. Right now, as far as I know, it's only with one company, but all of the carriers are going to have their own 5G networks, and you know, those waves are so short and so fast, they penetrate the blood-brain barrier. And, you know, it's just going to turn our brains to mush and our bodies to mush. And it's, you know, it's awful. I was upset about it for a while, but, you know, I'm just ready to go. However it happens, whether Scotty beams me up or I die or I ascend or, you know, I don't care. I don't care because this is not my world. This is not my world. This is a dark reality that's developing here. It's dark and it's getting worse all the time. And anyone who says, oh, we got to make it better, you know, the only way you can make it better is just in your own self and how you're going to deal with what's coming down. You can't change any policies. You can't influence politics. You can't influence the leaders. They're all controlled by the dark mind. And I call it Satan. And if anyone tries to leave anti-Christian comments, they will be dealt with. The comments will not be approved, and you'll probably be blocked. I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm just not going to tolerate it. So there's methane at surface level now that we have that data. So let's go back over the carbon dioxide. Here's the North Pole. Let's go to the globe. There's your globe view. Base time, same 3 days. All right? It's the same 3 days. And the colors are different here. See, and the scale goes up to like 1,000 parts per million. I don't see anything in 1,000. I see like this brown, which is about 14, 16 parts per million. But if we go over to carbon dioxide over here, now watch. I don't know if they changed their model or the colors or what. It starts out like this in brown and green, blue, green. But when you go to plots, look at all these bright colors. And down here, this is parts per million. And this green, kind of this darker green, is 403, like up here. Then when you get up into the chartreuse, it's 407. That's like this color here. Then when you get into the yellow, that's 408. The yellow gold is 409. The gold is 410. When you get into red, that's 411. And then you go on higher in the scale as you get higher in the reds. Then it goes up to 415 and it looks like 600. So let's run this movie. And this is total column. That's normally how carbon dioxide is measured. And I don't preach very much. You know, I preach sometimes when I feel like it. And you know, if people don't like it, they can go somewhere else. But I'm also showing the data. And when I put up spiritual videos, you know, I don't appreciate people who are following me on climate change and then they start trying to leave nasty comments about my spiritual videos. That's not helpful, and you're going to be blocked because I take offense to that. And you say, oh, well, I'll be back when it's just climate change. Well, you know, I don't want you here if you're going to be like that. You know, and, you know, I'm just tired. I'm tired of all the nonsense. I'm tired of the confusion. I'm tired of people fighting and picking and nitpicking at me. And, I work hard at this research, and I'm not a climate scientist, and I didn't ever claim to be a climate scientist. But I'm bringing you the data that I see that I can bring to you. And I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but sometimes I just have to rant too. Everybody has a rant day. So there's that. So those data are up now. Now over here on NOAA, first of all, this is the page for the sounding products off the NOAA.gov website. I already left that link in the show yesterday. And the product we were looking at that had the missing data was this IASI sounding, and it's on from a European Met-Op satellite. And I was thinking that the missing data might have been connected to the European that it being European, because the CAMS website is European as well. And then someone, said, oh, well, here's data here in NewCaps. And I'm like, yeah, if you watched my video yesterday, I showed that you can find methane information on NewCaps, which is a whole different processing system, and it's from a different satellite. So this is the product that we were looking at. And here it is. And so the latest data is from Sunday, and it goes back a couple of days that we can look at. So we'll look at methane. And I can automatically tell we're still missing large pieces of data on this METOP1 satellite. These are the different levels through the atmosphere. This 1013 millibars is 1,000 millibars. That's sea level. And we've got a lot of missing data here. And I'm not going to speculate. I don't know why it's missing. I don't know why all of this gray area is there. I don't know why the red is here. I don't know, but I'm just showing you the pictures. Then here's from the afternoon on the METOP1 satellite, and we can see the missing data is now over here. It could be that, the sun was in a different place. I don't know. Here's the METOP2 satellite, and we have more information coming in on the METOP2 satellite. We still have a little bit of missing over here and up here, but that looks more complete now. So it looks like the NOAA data is coming online. And it could have been that they were just having to be recalibrated. And, I showed the bulletin yesterday. Here's some missing data here, and here's missing data here. This is the afternoon on this METOP2 satellite from today at 1,000 millibars. So you have to be discerning. Don't just take things at face value. Don't jump to conclusions. And if you want to send an email and try and get to the bottom of things, you can do that. You can definitely do that. This is why they have help desk. This is why, they have email support. So I'm going to sign off for now. I've made a Campfire Chats announcement, and we'll be uploading that, but we will be having a Campfire Chat this Thursday, September 6th at 5 o'clock Pacific time. And so I'll see everybody there. Time is short. Time to get your spiritual houses in order. I love you. God bless. Goodbye.